Dylan Walker in the starting side, playing in the lock forward position. Tohu Harris normally in that role, being rested today by Andrew Webster as Jared Sutton blows time on the first of 3 games on Super Saturday. We kick things off here at Suncorp Stadium. It's Asako who makes the catch, and Mark Nichols it is who'll bring it out to play it. 5 on his own side of the 20. In fact, the ball has been ripped out on play number 1. Bunty Afua, Mitch Barnett involved in the tackle, and the Dolphins get a penalty on the first hit up of the game. And we'll begin again here at their own 30. Coming off the back of a loss last week to the North Queensland Cowboys. Right here, they went down 34 points to 10. In 14th position, a record of 8 wins and 15 losses. I think if you'd said at the start of the season the Dolphins would win 8 games under the coaching of Wayne Bennett in their first year, you'd have said that would sound about right. But when they won 6 of their first 10, everybody was recalibrating what they might expect from the expansion franchise. Here's Amaso Tabuai-Fidow going across to Tessie New, who takes it down here just outside the Warriors 20. Tabuai-Fidow for O'Sullivan. Bromwich in the middle of the field, taking it forward. This last week's game with a bit of a groin issue. He'll play it there for Harrison Graham. O'Sullivan to Fusi, holding it up, comes back to O'Sullivan, who grubbers. Tabuai-Fidow trying to push through the middle of the field. Didn't get there, and the ball taken dead by Ronald Volkman.
Yeah, excellent start here from the home side, the Dolphins. Some wonderful football. They got a penalty at the start, and off the back of that, they've been able to march downfield. Some nice combination down that left-hand side with Tabuai-Fidow and also Tessie New. And they've got a real look about them. They want to keep the ball alive and score some points. Really entertain the crowd here.
Volkman with the short drop out. Montoya was weaving in traffic. It was put down there by Jermaine Isako, and the Warriors get a result from the short dropout.
Yeah, and we've seen plenty of practice before the game too. Isako coming up with the first knock on for the Dolphins. The short kickoff. He couldn't handle it. He got first grab at the ball, but they all contested for the football. And there's the valve being released there for the Warriors, who are under the pump early in this game.
He's had an enormous season, Jermaine Isako. Uncustomary drop of the ball there. That's the short goal line dropout. So Andrew Webster there. 41-year-old in his first full coaching season in the NRL, and it's one to remember already. The Warriors and their growing base of fans. Here's Dylan Walker, brings it back to the 30. We get downstairs to Lara Pitt on the sideline.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. This is very much a bit of a smash and grab mission for the Warriors in this final round. They'll fly straight home to New Zealand at full time tonight in preparation for finals week 1. I'm told the Stars, who remain behind in New Zealand, were put through a very grueling training session yesterday back home by assistant Richard Agar, all in readiness for either the Broncos or Penrith next week.
So if they win today as they take it to the 40-metre line at the Dolphins' end of the field, they finish in 3rd position. If they lose, they'll be in 4th. We'll find out in the next game whether it's the Broncos or the Panthers they'll be playing in week 1. Catch there made by Jack Bostock, and the Dolphins here working it from inside their 10. This is one of the areas of the game that Andrew Webster in our pre-game show told you, both Corey and Blocker, about trying to really front-load their effort and deny metres for the Dolphins today as they work it away from inside their 20.
Yeah, it's been an area that, as Andrew Webster already touched on, they really want to try and get down as best they can. 3rd best defensive team in the competition at the moment, so it has been no fluke. They've been terrific all season, but when you're looking for little areas moving into semi-finals, that is certainly going to be the case. It's a strong tackle there on the right-hand side. Come up with an offload.
Made by Ed Corsi, a chance here. Ducking and diving is Rocco Berry, and the Warriors have a 25 out from the Dolphins line. Strong tackle from the returning winger. Hasn't played in the NRL since round 10. A great chance here for the visitors as such. So much support here again today. Suncorp Stadium for the Warriors as Barnett works it towards the uprights. Hussett waiting at dummy half, deep on the right-hand side. Only 4 on this left-hand side. Plenty of numbers out there on the right edge as Curran takes a run towards the line. He'll play it here The tackle's up their sleeve. Lussick goes short side again. 2 on 2. Martin Montoya. He's wrapped up there by Valtafare. Taken down only a couple of metres out. Crash ball. Curran spinning his way in. And Jared Sutton's right on top of things, says no try initially.
No try. Just looking to see if Josh Curran loses the ball into a defender short of the goal line, mate.
Well, they've come here with a directive to come down this left-hand side, really trying to expose Tamade Martin, able to put some fleet footwork on him. Got on his outside. It was a wonderful tackle. Then they double it up. They come back through Curran, who loses the ball.
Josh Curran loses possession into Cody Nikorima in the field of play.
Yeah, tell you what I've liked about the start from Tuaro Martin. Just his involvement. 3 touches in that set straight away. Trying to take command, take the pressure off his halfback in Sean Johnson. He's got some sort of start. He's got wonderful footwork, doesn't he, Blocker? We just got a little glimpse of it just then.
Valtafare, quite obviously a target on this right-hand side. They've gone to him a number of times there. They were set for a big shift to the right-hand side, and they just kept working it over. The short time was getting narrower and narrower as the balls went. But eventually, it was Tafare who made a good stop, forced the mistake from Josh Curran. So Sarko with the carry from the scrum win for the Dolphins. Chance at either end for both teams to begin the game. No score as yet. There is Tafare right here. Was the story of Magic Round on debut, and a rugby union player comes out and scores 2 tries. It was memorable in the extreme. To the middle. There's Bromwich looking up with brother Kenny, who will play at 15 short of the halfway line. Graham finds Mark Nichols. And the back end here, kick coming up. Nikorima on the right-hand side. O'Sullivan on the left. He won't get to the kick, though, because there was a mistake in the play the ball.
Just making it very difficult, handing the ball over without able to get out on their own half. Nichols this time. Whilst there's a host of stars not there for the Warriors, they still have an attacking team that can really make you pay. Only 2 completed sets out of their first 5 for the home side.
Off the back of the scrum win, it is Cheltenham's right-hand side. Tane to a picking. Filling in for Chance Nickel-Cookstall, one of the 6 rested from today's game. Luke Metcalf missing off that hamstring injury last week that ended his season, unfortunately. And back through the middle. So play it there through Lussick, and now Bundy of 4 runs towards the uprights. Getting Bromwich around the legs. Nichols over the top. They come short side to the left again. Now they go to the right edge. Walker finds Volkman on the inside for Niokore. Able to brush past the tackle there of Graham. Set restart once again. The Dolphins infringing twice in this possession. Tamade Martin goes over the top. Here's Asako. He had Pompey on his hammer, and he realised his pressure straight away. He ducked away to the right-hand side. Had he put the foot down, it would have been quite the match race. Now Nikorima finding Tabuai Fido. Thought he might just back himself there, Asako, and set sail for the try line. O'Sullivan keeps it going. Lemuelu on the left-hand side, loses the ball in the tackle. Play on is the call. Tessie New, he goes to Bostock. Bostock will dive for the corner, and he got there. From one end to the other. Asako with the intercept on the rainbow ball that didn't work for the Warriors. At the other end of the field is the speed of young Jack Bostock, who puts the Dolphins on the board.
Yeah, here's the pass here from Tamade Martin. There was wonderful positioning from that man there, Sarko. What a season he is having. And as you mentioned, Warren, he could have just put the foot down. What happened in that play the ball, we'll have to go back and have a look. But Tessie New right there on the spot. And Bostock over on the left-hand side. Spectacular finish at Suncorp Stadium, Blocker.
Well, they just didn't retreat quick enough, did they, after the long-range break from Asako. The quick play the ball. Good play there by Tessie New. gee, they were shallow and in and behind the ruck there. No defensive players. Gets the ball on the outside to Bostock. And against the run of play, really, it's been all the attack down this end for the Warriors. They got over the strike once, but the intercept, the broken field play, Bostock gets the first try for the Dolphins.
Second try of his NRL career. From the south coast of New South Wales initially. One of the early, very early signings for Wayne Bennett and the Dolphins.
I'm just not sure yet, Warren. The try hasn't been confirmed. Just want to have a look at the play the ball and what actually goes on here. Does Lemuelu lead? Hard to tell from that angle.
Well, if he's passed the ball into one of the Warriors players, even though it was going back, if it touched a Warriors player when he's trying to offload, does that deem a knock on?
We saw him saying it was played at by the Warriors. He was pleading a case already, Lemuelu.
Doesn't look good. The longer it goes, the referee.
Okay.
Here we go.
Reviewing when the ball comes out, if there's a strip from the Warriors, and then that it's all back from the Dolphins.
Listen to that reaction. Is this a Warriors home game or a Dolphins home game? Crowd went up as one almost when they saw that this was going to be reviewed further.
The ball is stripped out by the Warriors. When it then touches Connolly's hand, it goes backwards, go wide. We're playing advantage at this point.
Well, after this, it has looked to deem it be okay. Bostock spectacular out on this left-hand side. Leaps as he get the ball down cleanly. That's incredible.
Yeah, good.
Jack Bostock then remains in the field of play and grounds the ball in the in goal. We have a decision.
So a spectacular put down by Jack Bostock. Still just 20 years of age. His first season in the NRL. Tell you what, he might have a future as a permanent winger for Wayne Bennett in 2024. That put down showed you a lot right there. He's got so much speed to go with it. They've got some help coming, the likes of Herbie Farnworth and Jake Avarillo to throw into the back line next season as well. But Bostock pressing his claims with his appearances so far in this first season.
He's got a great physique, nice and tall, aerial and physical.
Also got Edric Lee, hopefully available for them next year. Just the one game through injury this year, and now Asako, he bends it back. And the Dolphins, off the back of an intercept by Jermaine Asako, go down the field. After reviewing touchback by Connolly Lemuelu, but Jack Bostock flying through the air makes it 6 points to 0 to the locals.
And the fans here absolutely love it. What a season it has been for the Dolphins in their inaugural season. 30,000 fans in members they have stacked up, which means they're the third highest membership base in this competition, which is unbelievable from a brand new franchise. They've given these fans so many wonderful moments, including that opening round upset win here at Suncorp against the Roosters, the comeback over the Titans, which was a record, and they pushed a lot of top sides this year, so the future's certainly looking bright for the Dolphins.
That it is, as Asako does well to come back to Nichols, who wears a shot from Buddy Afor and Mitch Barnett, who are up there quickly. Felice Kafusi takes it beyond the 20. Opening try to the home side, but boy, the supporter base is evenly split here today, maybe even slightly favouring the Warriors. He's back at the halfway line here on just 3 plays. Now the Dolphins, as Kenny Bromwich shuffles his way back into Warriors territory. Harrison Graham at dummy half finds Jesse Bromwich. He's back turned there for a possible offload, but takes the tackle. Here's the last. And it's Nicarima who puts it up. Montoya standing underneath it. Poppy doing the blocking for him. Asako wraps up Montoya, and the Warriors to roll up their sleeves and work it away from inside their 10. Adam Pompey.
Excellent set after points from the home side. The Dolphins really starting to chance their arm. Couple of nice calculated offloads. They're looking to shift the ball to spaces as quick as they can. Perfect conditions for expansive style of football here.
Niakure, great ball runner. So much velocity always as he hits the offensive line. He's just outside the 30 here. Slow to play the ball. Almost a mistiming there between Lussick and also Tuapiki. Boltman from inside the 40. Off the outside of the boot. It sails just beyond the sideline, and the Dolphins are about to get 6 tackles from deep inside Warriors territory.
Really needs to come up with something a little bit better there. Ronnie Volkman, we spoke to Webster before the game. He mentioned about the kicking game was going to be key this afternoon. Sean Johnson not playing. His direction has been spot on this season.
As Nichols works it towards the 30 at the Warriors end of the field. 12 gone. Dolphins on top. O'Sullivan finding Nikorima. Lemuelu. That gap between Volkman and also Berry. They shut him down well enough. Now Kenny Bromwich. And he's back towards Barnett. Fairly flat on both sides of the play the ball. O'Sullivan goes forward though, does well. Here's Nikorima to Farah. Just bulldozing his way towards Adam Pompey. And there's some help there from Martin. Asako. He'll come back to Nikorima. Sullivan keeps it going. Jesse Bromwich, long cutout ball from the skipper and front rower. Away to Tessie New. Almost away from Berry and Volkman again. Comes deep. Here is O'Sullivan. Hit as he kicked. That was okay. Asako with a tap back to Fare's there, but they swamp him. Curran and company are there to make the tackle, and the Warriors have held on.
Yeah, it was good defence there by Curran just to close that ball batted back in field there straight away. Didn't rest on his laurels. Just came in straight away and cut the play off. Some good attacking play here from the Dolphins to start the game. You mentioned it, Corey. They're willing to throw the ball around, doing the Warriors what the Warriors normally do.
Dolphins doing a nice job of slowing down these early play the balls. There's the yardage set for the Warriors as Dylan Walker walks the Dolphins back to almost the halfway line. Barnett charging hard, went straight past the tackle there of Lemuelu. He had his head low and was beaten pretty comfortably. Picked up by O'Sullivan. As the kick comes from Volkman. The hammer standing underneath it. Berry was a chance there to put some real pressure on him, but decided to just back off. And lets him make the catch to wrap him up just outside the 10. See what they can offer here defensively, the Warriors. Coach will be very anxious watching, see what happens here. Now a shift by Tabuai Fido. Nikorima keeps it going. Good hands there by Asako. Took a real chance. They put it down. Then another Wayne Bennett. There'll be 2 raps about what he just saw. Asako was put under real pressure there by Nikorima. And as it turns out, he turns it over. The Warriors a big chance.
Yeah, high-risk play coming out of their own end. If it comes off, it's all well and good, but it hasn't done that this afternoon.
It's Barnett who'll play it here. Lussick links up with Walker. Volkman, quick tip on the Akure on the angle. Well read though by O'Sullivan. Followed him in. He was there front on to make the tackle. Maria Ford. Spin his way towards the uprights. 2 metres out, it's Volkman who grubbers for himself. An ad-lib play. Tabuai Fido had the brakes on, trying to avoid touching the ball. He thinks he has. O'Sullivan says, sir, you've got to check that. Here's the mistake again by Asako that gave the Warriors a chance. And of course, the bunker can take a look at this situation on the dead ball line and make a change. Well, no doubt it touches Tabuai Fido there before it had touched the ground beyond the line.
Yeah, and he's made the call, the referee. They're coming out to the 20. There was a nice little play from Ronnie Volkman, come off the right foot. I thought he may have been checked in his run. They've made the call.
Yeah, it's good to see him back himself there that close to the line, because the last couple of kicks he's had downfield, he's been put under all sorts of pressure. So he hasn't hung his head. He's got on with it. Little chip for himself. Nearly came off for the Warriors.
Didn't the replay show that Tabuai Fido touched the ball before it touched the ground?
It appeared that way, Warren, yes.
Okay. Not entirely sure why the Dolphins got possession there. They did. That's a curious one. There's O'Sullivan. Of course, the dead ball line, touching goal lines, are different to the sidelines themselves, which is another curiosity in the current ruling setup. As Nichols plays it, jumping out of dummy half, a chance there for Isaiah Katoa, who's on the field early on here, barely 16 minutes gone. And Katoa is out there working things from dummy half for Harrison Graham. A kick across the field. Catch made by Bostock, who goes to the air. Here's Katoa standing, looking again for O'Sullivan. Knocked backwards, play on. He gets it eventually off a Warrior to Tessie New.
It's gone forward, has it?
Yeah, it's come forward out of the hand.
Forward pass first into the Warriors.
He thought he'd score himself there instead of passing. He had a two-man overlap straight away.
And again, they come out to this left-hand side. They go aerial. Bostock comes down with it uncontested.
Hold.
And they did everything to not score there. The Dolphins had plenty of numbers around the ball.
Sutherland butchered that try. He should have passed on the outside straight away. Tried to throw the dummy and run himself.
And Graham's come from the field straight into the sheds for the Dolphins to have a groin issue looked at.
Groin problem for Harrison Graham. Thank you for that, Lara, as the Warriors work it away here at their own 30. And Lassick comes across to Curran. Spins away from the contact there of Katoa, and also out of Farai. Now Walker. Three again in the tackle. Slowing things down. The Dolphins have been effective at doing that so far in the game. Volkman here has a big boot. Biggest halfback you've ever seen, but can kick the ball. Bostock makes the catch. They'll wrap him up just the edge of the Dolphins 20. Sunny afternoon, really breaking out. It's 30 degrees in Brisbane yesterday. Not quite at those levels today, but winter has certainly come and gone. Maybe some weeks ago as well in this part of the world. Tabuai Feeder, 25 short. The halfway line, who play it here for Katoa. Farai gets the bumpers up, and look at Val go. Val Meninga is his nickname, and you can see why. O'Sullivan, Tabuai Fido, and 6 again for the Dolphins.
Yeah, really important time here for the Warriors defensively. They really need to steal together. The momentum all in the home side as Bromwich gets an offload away.
It's touched there by a Warrior, and off the back of it, Katoa stepping his way almost past Bunty Afoa. They've got a full set here from just outside the 20. Looking to make it 10-0, if not more, as Nichols around the hips there to take him to ground. Katoa comes across to O'Sullivan. Out the back is Nicarima. Changes the angle. Tabuai Fido through the middle. Keeps it going beyond Kafusi. Here's to Farai. Taken down there by Walker around the legs, and Martin over the top. Wrapping to the short side, Jesse Bromwich. Don't see that too many times from a front rower.
He's wound the clock back, Big Jess.
Now comes back to Tabuai Fido. O'Sullivan, Nichols. He takes on Barnett. Good stop there, front rower on front rower. Quick play the ball. O'Sullivan, an intercept chance there for Volkman.
Forward pass again.
But it will be forward, the call out of dummy half.
And boy, oh boy, didn't they need that. The Warriors that you see there, they are all hunched over. Plenty of fatigue set in. 20 minutes into this game, you mentioned about the conditions, Warren, certainly playing a part. They haven't had the ball at all in the last 10 minutes. Volkman comes up with a play there, but it was deemed to be forward as Supercoach looks on.
Game number 914 today for Wayne Bennett. That's not including, of course, his games coach for Souths and Brothers in the Brisbane Rugby League competition before linking the Raiders in 1987. Andrew Webster, game number 26 by comparison.
Can you say that again, please? How many?
914 today. It is remarkable. Warriors work it from inside their own 20 midway through this opening half. Warren Smith, Corey Parker, Steve Lockeroach and Lara Pitts. The first of 3 games beyond this one will take you south to Penrith, the Panthers against the Cowboys. Another huge game to shape the top 8 and the top 4. And then the Dragons and the Knights beyond that. 7:30 game important for the Knights. They've secured a home final. Where do they finish though? We'll find out in that game against the Dragons. The kick here taken by Tabuai-Fidow. He'll try and fend away from Rocco Berry. And they're certainly on top. They've had the better of the field position. Warriors have had some chances though. Inside the 20 for no result as yet. Jesse New playing as it comes to Bostock. Try scorer in the game. Sullivan waits at dummy half. Who is there? Off the right foot there. Go past Mitch Barnett. Now Kenny Bromwich, Nicarima, Kafusi into space. Runs towards Tuapiki. Gets a piece of him. Montoya is there and he wraps him up. 15 metres out. Last tackle. Comes back to Tabuai-Fidow. Long ball sitting up for Nicarima. He got a touch on it and knocked it on. No. Play on is the call. Now a chance. Bostock's there. Tuapiki ends up with it.
Gee, you got to see where the support was when Kafusi went straight through. Nicarima with a beautiful held-up pass. With no support. A number of breaks. The scoreboard should be ticking over a little bit better than it has with the amount of ball the Dolphins have had and the amount of opportunities. Still only 6-0.
Well, the one goes in the way of the home side. Looked like it was a knock-on for all money from the Dolphins. And they are on the ropes here at the moment, the Warriors. They need to hang on here.
Just an update, fellas, on Harrison Graham. The club tells me his season's finished with that groin issue.
It's a shame for Harrison Graham. Ball tipped backwards here by Kenny Bromwich. Goes back to O'Sullivan, who's just outside the 10. Chance again to extend this scoreline. From the home side, Bromwich, Kenny that is, takes it down inside the 10. Jared Wallace coming into the field for the Dolphins. A change there made by Wayne Bennett in attack as Faray taking a power of stopping this afternoon. And eventually dragging him to ground. Katoa fires it to O'Sullivan. Here is Jared Wallace. Straight into the action. And again, taken to ground, still 5 metres out. Katoa feeding it for O'Sullivan. Takes them on himself. He threw a dummy. They fell for it. And Sean O'Sullivan, he scores to make it 10 points to 0. And it's his first try as a Dolphin.
Well, I mentioned it only moments ago. They've been under all sorts of assault. They were under enormous amounts of fatigue. This time here, Marata Niakura just rocking out. Didn't even look on the inside. O'Sullivan just shows little show and go. Scampers across the line. And what's been all the home side over the last 10 minutes, 75% of possession has gone in the way of the home side. The weight of possession, they're able to come up with some points.
Yeah, it looks like he's been desperate to score a try here this afternoon. Sutherland has had a couple of opportunities. The show and go, they didn't close the gate back on the inside there. And straight away backs himself and scores. Under fatigue, the Warriors can't hang on. A lot of football towards the Dolphins. They made a couple of errors earlier in the game. But a lot of ball down in the 20-metre area, and this time they make them pay.
Well, he had such a promising start, as the Dolphins themselves did, to this 2023 season. And then suffered that pec muscle injury that really hurt their momentum. That was in round 4. There is Harrison Graham with that very considerable ice pack on the groin. His afternoon, as Lara Pitt told us, is over prematurely as Sarko had 15 in from touch to make it 12 points to 0. Dolphins trying to break a 6-game losing streak here today. They're a dozen to the good, courtesy of Sean O'Sullivan, who has plenty of speed, so much ability. He was great filling in for the Panthers in 2022 when Nathan Cleary was unavailable through injury or rep duty. And he's been very good once again for Wayne Bennett this season.
Well, the weight of possession has just absolutely killed the Warriors on their own line. They've been gallant and really tried to turn up, but the conditions and the hot one. No Charles Nickel Klukstad, no Johnson, no DWZ, Adenfanor, Blake, Metcalf, Egan and Harris. makes it extremely difficult if you don't have ball in hand. They've got to find a way to get back into the game here, the Warriors.
But that 6 again call. Looked like as though Nicarima had knocked the ball on. Scramble on the touchline. The Warriors wanted to touch, and the Dolphins make them pay off the back of it. Felice Kafusi here. 25 short of the halfway line. 15 minutes remaining before the break as slowly play the ball from Kafusi. Wallace coming across. Kenny Bromwich, who was snapped in half there. Mitch Barnett underneath. And Bromwich gets up, touching the back of his head as well. Now Nicarima shows it. He goes straight through them. Katoa back on the inside. It's a race with Tamare Martin, who wraps him up just outside the 20. They're making breaks and scoring points, the Dolphins. O'Sullivan showing it again. Pops it over the top. Comes from SASA to Kafusi. He'll keep it going to Kafare. Montoya was there to stop him. The hammer comes back to Jared Wallace from sideline to sideline and back again almost. And then Lemuelu chopped down there by Rocco Berry. O'Sullivan searching on the last. Wallace, he finds Katoa. What a ball by Jared Wallace. He's the world's biggest halfback.
He'll tell you too. Don't worry about that, Jared Wallace. He's had a terrific season for Wayne Bennett and the Dolphins. Only onto the field only moments ago. Wonderful injection under enormous amounts of fatigue, as I mentioned. This shows it beautifully. Tamare Martin, also Walker. Nicarima just slicing through. They get up and play the ball, and they just couldn't regroup whatsoever here. O'Sullivan goes to short side. He comes back out in the open. Wallace back on the inside. No one closing the gate. Defensively under enormous amounts of pressure. Then the home side, they're off and running.
Yeah, he's just got that little bit of X factor, hasn't he, Wallace? Just something a little bit different about him, able to stand in tackles and offload the football. This time it's before the line, some beautiful skill there. Back on the inside. They go back to back. Nicarima with the long range break. They couldn't retreat quick enough, the Warriors. And they're in again.
Been a big week for Jared Wallace. Had a new baby only a number of days ago. Welcomed in number 4 for Jared Wallace. Little baby boy Banks. Congratulations to him and his partner.
And the arms extended as well. Like Ben Stokes hitting the winning runs in the Ashes series. To say, how easy is this? You know what you little blokes are on about.
That story will get better and bigger the longer the weekend goes.
Outstanding vision. You see the space back on his left-hand side and to get Katoa on the chest to pour him through it. Asako makes it 18 points to 0. 2 tries in the space of 3 minutes for the Dolphins. They've gone from 6-0 to 18-0 in the blink of an eye.
It's a real interesting one. I mean, obviously, if you make the top 4, it gives you an opportunity to rest some players, but it can also dent your confidence. And whilst the Warriors have got a host of players not playing, 18 points behind in this game, and they're getting totally outplayed in all facets of the game, you just hope that they're able to salvage a performance towards this last 10-12 minutes and then in the second half. Because if it gets real ugly here at Suncorp, you don't want to have any effect moving forward, Warren.
No, that is true. That is the risk you run. 6 players being rested by Andrew Webster, who looks concerned. That furrowed brow tells a story. The top 4 at the moment. The Broncos on top, of course. The Penrith to play beyond this game against the Cowboys at 5:30 right here on Super Saturday. The Warriors, with this impending loss as such, they're staying in 4th position behind the Melbourne Storm. The Broncos will find out what happens whether they get the minor premiership or not. Almost a break again there by Tabuai Fido. We're going through those scenarios, which are very much a fluid state here on Saturday in particular, with all 3 games having a big bearing on the makeup of the finals. O'Sullivan's kick coming there towards Ed Corsi, who makes the tackle. And they'll bring it to ground here just outside the Warriors 20. Dylan Walker getting a breather for the moment. Change made, and Tom Alley going on there to take up a place in the middle of the field.
Well, they need some fresh troops, the Warriors. They need an injection. They need some life. And LA has done that at different stages. They
Leave the markers.
called to play the ball again, but you just mentioned about Tabuai-Fidow. The stage is set, bumper crowd, perfect conditions.
He's revving up, waiting for a chance.
You just get the sense something may come from Hammers. A nice little run through the middle.
Now 6 again set for the Warriors. A chance to get something going here at the half-hour mark. It's Lussick who waits at dummy half. Ella is there. Volkman from the Okoro runs towards O'Sullivan. Good help on the inside, though, from Lemuelu. Now Berwick fires it to Volkman. Barnett. R.A. Martin. Curran coming back on the inside. Kafusi. Once he's man back in field. Mitch Barnett. Just tries to settle while they get themselves organised for one more shot at them. Volkman and Tamare Martin out on this left-hand side. Good kick here by Volkman. Nicarima was waiting. Volkman got a hand to it, but it looked as though he might have bounced it.
Gee, the referee's right there. He's got no try. Thought he might have ruled it again.
Well, it's good to see he's playing what's in front of him. As you see in the top of screen there, Tabuai-Fidow on the right-hand side of the post.
Warriors left side kick chaser onside. It's the kicker following through.
And Volkman.
Let's have a look where the ref is. He's right in position here.
Nicarima, does he do enough? Volkman definitely gets to the ball. Does he get it down? That's the question.
Ronald Volkman knocks the ball on in the in goal. We have a decision.
It's a couple of times now. Fido just caught out of position. A lot of fullbacks these days park themselves in the defensive line.
As we get the decision, still pending, no try, play already back on. Jared Sutton in round 27. Fast game's a good game.
Well, certainly is.
He wasn't waiting for the official confirmation from the bunker. Here is Wallace again, no looker this time. Well, he's really feeling it, isn't he? Now, a touch on there. Lussick, he got a hand to it, so it's 6 again for the Dolphins and Jared Wallace. Well, they're playing with 3 halves. They've got O'Sullivan, they've got Nicarima, and they've got Wallace. And here he is again. Back in a more familiar role, though, this time. Takes it inside the 40. Looking for try number 4, the Dolphins. O'Sullivan at the line. Nicarima hands it off. Fusi up there by Ale and also Lussick. Bromwich for O'Sullivan. First man option is Connolly Lemuelu. They're at the 20 though, midway through this set of 6. Here's Wallace. Nicarima gives it off to Tafare. Couldn't dispense there with Pompey. Nicarima runs to dummy half. Comes back through the hands of SAS. Wallace, he's had 17 touches in this one set of 6. Now Tabuai-Fidow, here he is. Comes to Tessie New, jamming in. Of course he did well there. Lefty's wing. Pustoff was unmarked, but he made the good stop on Tessie New. Last play, it's O'Sullivan to kick across the field. Out wide is Asako flying high. Montoya comes down with it.
And Volkman's in all sorts over there on the right-hand side. He's down on one knee, hanging onto an arm. So the halfback looks like he's in all sorts.
Well, they're just under enormous amounts of fatigue. Blocker Lussick was the same. He's still yet to get back in the line. They've done an enormous amount of tackles. And a lot of these players haven't played long minutes in the NRL. That's a strong run there. Beautiful.
And it's Kalani going, and that's why the cheer went up. And the Warriors crowd, they recognise that Kalani going here at 26 years of age. And the season remarkable for the older players getting a chance at the NRL for the first time. Makes his debut in the NRL. Tabuai-Fidow is here. There'll be a penalty, though. The Warriors inside the 10 and offside at the kick.
Well, playing at a completely different pace here at the moment. Everything going against the Warriors. For the players that haven't played a lot of football, they'll feel like they're a mile away. They need to stem the flow here.
Dolphins bring it back to almost the halfway line. Crowd animated. There's a wave going around Suncorp Stadium.
They couldn't be more, could they?
They're enjoying their footy here. Why wouldn't you?
This has been great the first half.
That's the Dolphins. They're making waves themselves. 3 tries, all converted by Jermaine Asako. Chance now for Max Platt. Just his second game in the NRL. Made his debut against the Warriors back in round 14. Nikarima, Tabuai Fido. Farre got away from Pompey this time. Taken to ground by Curran, but only just. What a game he's having on this right edge. Katoa now bypasses Wallace. O'Sullivan showing it again. Back on the inside there, a chance. Was it put down? Plath was there pushing through, and it will be knocked on by the Dolphins.
Well, isn't it amazing the footy you start to play when there's no pressure on? It's been enjoyable the first half here from the Dolphins, just really chancing their hand. And again, come away with an error there, but they've been outstanding in the first half. 18 points to 0. And have a look at them. The Warriors, hands on hips, down in their haunches. They're under the pump. Seven line breaks to 0.
It is remarkable. Taking dummies. Nikarima and O'Sullivan. Say Katoa since he's come on as well. And well, not to mention Jared Wallace, what he's done.
He's been terrific, hasn't he, off the bench, Jared Wallace.
Lighting up the attack. Curran. He'll play just outside the 20. Wave still rolling around Suncorp Stadium. Pushing toward some of them in cricket mode already. Well, the fans here, fins up well and truly to this point of the game. 5 minutes out from half-time. Lussick playing it as Martin comes to Tane to a peaky. And again for Lussick quickly enough. Volkman lofts a kick. Bostock underneath it. Berry was there making a contest of it, but another nice piece of play by Jack Bostock.
Well, it's been one of those afternoons for the Dolphins here. They've come out in the first half and really put it to the Warriors. And there was a perfect example. Bostock got the first try and takes that ball beautifully. Outleaps the opposition. And we're going to see another try before half-time. They won't die wondering here. 4.5 to go before half-time. They'll keep playing the Dolphins.
Yes, they will. Tafare there coming infield for a carry. Now O'Sullivan finds Lemuelu standing, not tackled. Arm carrying the ball, didn't hit the turf. Play on. O'Sullivan, almost a mix-up there. Plath ended up with it, I think. O'Sullivan was looking for Nikarima, though. He hangs on to it. Now Katoa feeds it for O'Sullivan to kick and put some pressure here on Tuapiki. Tabuai Fido is there. Nice catch. Tane Tuapiki. Today filling in for Chance Nickel Klugstar as Montoya brings it back at speed.
Yeah, I want to see him in broken field. Tuapiki, he's got plenty of pace. He's rolling sleeves up the side. Geez, takes some tough carries and some good takes. The Warriors bunched at the moment. They can't wait till half-time.
There is Tuapiki again. Just outside the Warriors 40. Numbers on this short side here. Curran showing it though. Stopped by Plath. And also Nikarima. This is the last. And it's Volkman with the kick in. Tabuai Fido standing underneath it. No real chase there at all from the Warriors. Very much in a containment role there as they stop Tabuai Fido just outside the Dolphins 20.
I'm just waiting for Tabuai Fido to explode. Someone to do something for him. Nikarima has been outstanding in the first half with his clean breaks. I'd love to see him support the ball carrier a little bit. Once he gets the ball in the clear, it'll be all over.
So much speed that he possesses. There's Bostock coming in, speaking of speed. Growing in confidence, the 20-year-old. Wallace back on the inside here. Essa galloping into space. Oh, Plath was there. He was stumbling as the ball came to him, though. He had visions of grabbing try number 1. Now to Farre, down this short side. Comes back to Nikarima. There was some space there. He bounces off defenders. Pops the ball away straight to Josh Curran.
Gee, Curran's had to do some telling tackles in the first half as he tried to get the ball. Stole off him there. Wallace again involved. Tried to go for the steal. And Curran has made a couple of telling one-on-one tackles in this game.
There are some tired-looking Warriors back behind the play here. Curran on his haunches. There's Max Plath again. His eyes were like dinner plates. He realised there was nobody in front of him. Wayne Bennett almost came out of his chair as well. Boy, that's animated by Wayne's standards, isn't it? He moved.
He'd love to see the young fella get a try.
LA playing it here. Comes across to Volkman. And bomb away towards Bostock again. Near the sideline, makes a comfortable catch. Brings it back to Tabuai-Fidow. That's a ragged chase line there by the Warriors. And they might pay a big price. Tabuai-Fidow still going. Takes them back onto the attack. That was an awful chase by the Warriors at the back end of this first half. Wallace, Nikarima, thought about going long. Now he does. Asako in a run to the corner. He grabs another one. In this marvellous season, in game 24, he scores his 24th try of 2023. And what a scoreline we have here at halftime.
Well, it was a great run to start it all off by Tabuai-Fidow. Up the left-hand side of the field, and I just watched Jared Wallace. He's a footballer, this bloke. He knew exactly what to do. Get the ball out wide. Some beautiful footwork again from Nikarima. He's got spiders on him. Gets the ball on the outside to Asako, and he ends up scoring. There's Wallace there. He called the play. Look at the footwork. Nikarima, the offload. Curran comes across. Asako too quick. He goes in again.
Well, it began at the other end of the field. Bostock made a catch up against the sideline inside his 20. The chase was an awful one from the Warriors. They were all over the place. There was no straight line there by any stretch. Tabuai-Fidow put them deep onto the attack, and then the shift over to the right-hand side. It was only a matter of who was going to score. Eventually, there were holes everywhere as the Warriors were still recovering. And Asako, leading point scorer in 2023. That's quite the feat for an expansion team. And, of course, now 3 tries clear at the top of the try-scoring list as well. What a great year he's had.
Yeah, and you talk about wanting to finish the season off too. And the Dolphins, they had a great start to the season, then they fell in a little bit of a hole, but they'll want to finish well here. 22 points to nil. It could be anything. 8 line breaks to nil so far. The cover just couldn't get there on time. Curran has had to make, I said it a little bit earlier, a couple of telling tackles one-on-one, and they're just carving them up at the moment.
Finish of a great half of football for the Dolphins. Asako can't convert his own try, but at half-time, it is all the home side at Suncorp Stadium, taking on team number 3 on the NRL ladder. They lead them 22 points to nil.
The back of that first half, we're just unable to mount any sort of pressure. Warren, you mentioned about the players that aren't there. They still have a stack of players that will be there next week, so really important for their confidence in this second half.
So Jermaine Asako gets us back underway. The catch made there, taken to a picky for the Warriors. They'll play it here 15 out from their own line. Freddie Lussick at dummy half. Charging hard, coming in. Really make a stamp there. Perfect carry by Bailey Siren. Coming off the back fence with his first touch in this second half. Now Curran, left-hand side, brings it back to almost the halfway line. Good meters here for the Warriors in this opening set. To a peak, he goes across the halfway line. Last tackle now is Lussick. Feeds it back from Faulkner. A kick down towards Jack Bostock. Scored the opening try of the game. It was spectacular. One of the great put downs we've seen so far in 2023. He's wrapped up here on the kick return. The Dolphins begin their first possession inside the 10. Wayne Bennett watching on, impressed no doubt by what he saw in the first half. And Really, they'd love to finish this game off. No, don't put the whip away here and just let the Warriors back into it and give them a bit of a sniff. Just keep the foot on the throat and finish off the season as you began it. In blinding fashion right here with that marvellous win against the Roosters all the way back in round 1. Wallace goes through Nicarim. Kafusi left arm high as he came towards the tackle of Martin. Curran there to help out as well. Now it's O'Sullivan from inside the 40, but goes down the middle of the field. The catch to be made by Ed Corsi. He brings it back here and will play it just inside his own 40 as we go downstairs to Lara Pit.
The messages at halftime, gents. Wayne Bennett wanted to see his side focus on a good start to this second half. He actually challenged them to keep this Warriors side to 0, something they haven't managed in a game this season. For Andrew Webster, he just wants better effort and more intensity. He challenged them to win this second half.
Down his right-hand side, trying to do first things first and themselves inside the 20 to put some real pressure. Here is Tuapiki. Grabbed there by Lemuelu on Rocco Berry. It came before the ball had reached the Warriors centre, so it will be a penalty to the visitors.
Yeah, nice little sign from Tuapiki down the short side. Just take him on the outside. Finds player back on the inside, tackled on suspicion. They'll have a full set here at an early stage in this second half.
There's a massive supporter base of Warriors fans here today. That is itching. So you're trying to get themselves involved to be the 18th man, if you like, for this Warriors outfit. Just outside the 10 as they play it there. It's back. Tom Alley's doing some stepping close to the line. Plays it quickly enough as well. Lussick for Volkman. Goes to Curran back on the angle. Stopped by Plath. And still is 5 metres out. Comes to Sirinen. Now Volkman coming out of the line quickly. O'Sullivan did well. Berry. Bostock following in was wrapped up pretty quickly. Niokore jumps out of dummy half. Runs into Katoa and almost runs over the top of him. Offload. Goes through Lussick and then away to Alley. It's going to be a penalty, though, for an obstruction.
That's a tough call there. You heard on the referee's mic, he'd actually called one of the Dolphins players out. I thought the penalty was going to go in the way of the Warriors. It was Bostock there who'd called out of the play. Goes back to Lussick.
Still unaware of what went wrong as far as the Warriors, though. Was there an obstruction before that? He threw the referee's microphone exactly.
Well, he called Bostock. He called Bostock out of the play. That was the only sound we heard through the referee's mic.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be one of those afternoons. They got themselves early in the second half in a position, but couldn't finish off that set, get to their kick. Away a penalty, the Warriors. They just cruise up to the halfway line now, the Dolphins.
Lemuelu brushing past the tackle there of Niokore. The penalty was, in fact, for a player being out of play. And in front of the play, the ball got involved. Must have been Lussick potentially. That's why the Dolphins have it. As Sarko now beating defenders again, looking back on the inside. The pass looks forward, and Nicarima, while he towed it forward and it had some backspin, he was going to plant it down, but the pass back on the inside was forward from that man, Asako.
Just a little bit of skill there needed. Just double pumped. Had he had thrown the ball straight away to Nicarima, was in great position. He would have straight away to score.
Would have liked to see him just back his own ability. We see 11 line breaks to 0. It was 8 at half time. This is against the team. Yes, there's some stars out, but the third best defensive team in the competition over the course of 27 weeks. You always run a risk when you rest players. I know that there's bigger games ahead, but you just hope that the confidence isn't dented from the Warriors.
Niokore charging hard here. SA brings it back within 15 of the halfway line. We've had 6 minutes in this second half. No change to the half-time scoreline. Warren Smith along with Corey Parker, Stephen Blocker-Roach and Lara Pitt. Only the first of 3 games on Fox League's Super Saturday here. The steal coming up with it, Jared Wallace. Well, what an afternoon he's had. And to back it up, he comes up with an offload as well. Lemuelu has it, and the Dolphins with a full set from 40 metres out.
We can't do no wrong at the moment, Jay Walt. He's got the hot hand. Wouldn't be surprised if he comes up with a kick this afternoon.
He might show and go and score close to the line, you reckon?
And all he hasn't done. Tabuai Fido here, coming towards Adam Pompey, who takes him down inside the Warriors 20.
Hold. Go to.
Osako feeds it back through Nicarima. There is Wallace. He signed until the end of 2024, Jared Wallace. Looking for a new deal. He wants a couple more seasons tacked onto the back of that, given the way he's playing. Plath O'Sullivan. Nicarima! Almost an intercept by Corsi, and there was nobody at home had he come up with the ball.
Well, he'd done everything right, Edward Corsi. He'd put himself between the two defenders. He saw the ball come into the hands. He was thinking about how far he had to run. There's a strip from Jared Wallace.
Goes in the touch to play the ball.
Just couldn't gain the ball. Nicarima, he's had a terrific afternoon.
Hold here, boys.
It's a real Mr. Fix-It man for any team he's played in.
Hold.
The Dolphins still, at the moment, have more than 60% of possession for the game. Set of 6 coming up here. Kalani going, chopping at the arm there of SASA. Wallace, ball playing over the top. O'Sullivan this time. Bostak comes back on the angle. Oh, and then O'Sullivan puts it down. Play on though. Here's Berry. Now the ball is being called back by Jared Sutton.
Knock on here first. And then I think it
There's
comes
a
off
knock on
Warriors. And he
by
won't be in an
the
offside
Warriors
position, so there's no
off the
advantage
back
to
of
play the
Bostock
first
putting
one.
it down.
The 3 looks at it there. Sutton looked to his touch judge 2 times. They allowed the play to go on through Berry. It was a knock on.
And him trying to pick it up and run away. Rocco Berry ruled to have knocked it on by the referee. We've tried everything on this left-hand side. Rainbow balls, cut-out balls.
Make sure we're here.
Work so far in this second half. And whenever they have as much possession as they've had to this point, that'll be run down.
Shot clock off. Yep.
Stays at 22 points to nil. Jesse Bromwich about to come back onto the field. More than 35,000 officially here today. What a great crowd to finish off this fantastic first season, Corey.
Exceptional. We saw the crowd come in, particularly in that first game against the Roosters. They've got a fan base of over 30,000. They have certainly grown. Wayne Bennett and his troops have done a terrific job to bring the community on board. And from the football we see week in and week out, they turn up for each other and they have a red-hot crack.
There's been teams in the Premiership for 20 years haven't got 30,000 members.
That's a good point.
Yeah, good. They love their footy up here in Brisbane. That'll double if they go well next year.
Max, go last.
The Warriors from the halfway line. Volkman again has done pretty much all the kicking here this afternoon. Tabuai Fido will play it at the Dolphins 20. 10 minutes into this second half as O'Sullivan puts it across on the middle of the field where SASA is there to take a carry. Testing him coming infield, putting his body on the line. Speaking of bodies, here's a big body.
He's had that in bulldoze mode right from the start. Just low gear and chugs the big legs down the field.
Move, push up, Whaley.
We play the ball here from Bostock. That was good work. O'Sullivan through the middle. His path was blocked very succinctly by Tom Allett.
Well, that could be a game changer there from Allett. Just rattled the feelings in the back teeth.
Inside ball from O'Sullivan for Isaiah Katoa. And what about the whiplash?
That's a great shot. Well, they need something. They need something here. And LA, is that it? Barnett ready to come back onto the field. We know what he brings.
Warriors making changes. Looking up here towards the halfway line. Mitch Barnett is back on deck. Niokore coming from the field. LA takes it back into Dolphins territory. They've got one more play. Volkman once again. Go down towards Bostock. Tracking, he'd just about make it to the goal line there as well. So secure today, Rocco Berry makes a good stop on him. The Dolphins to begin here inside their 10.
Well, those sort of tackles can spark your defence. Let's have a look to see the speed of the line now of the Warriors and try and put some pressure on.
Here's Tessie New. Can't make it back to his feet because he thinks there's probably something untoward in the tackle, and he's just waiting for a replay here. Comes towards Mitch Barnett. Classic over the back of him, brings him to ground. Oh, was it a bit of a chicken wing effort is what he's saying there. You saw the arm eventually come free from Mitch Barnett. That left arm and shoulder bent back awkwardly there in the tackle.
Well handled there from the referee. Yes, he was caught in awkward position. I don't think there was any intent whatsoever. It was just a clumsy tackle.
Look out there now, Kalani. Mitch, hold with us. Hold
Just a bit of a pec stretch, no more.
Head back out there saying, just give it a stretch. You'll be right.
It looks to be exactly that. As Kafusi plays it here. So easy beyond your playing days, isn't it, Corey? No drama, just a little chicken wing, that's all good.
He's fine.
Now O'Sullivan. Don't see many chicken wings anymore. All the rage for a while there, some seasons ago. Kick for Montoya. Oh boy, he almost lost it. He was reaching for his chicken popcorn. He just about dropped the football in doing so. A moment for the left winger. One of the regulars. He'll be in action next week. Joined by the half dozen missing from today's game. Watching on back home. Quite the viewing they were hoping for across the ditch as Lussick feeds it here from Martin. Goes through Poppy to Curran. Not inside the winger of Montoya. And they're back inside the Dolphins 40. Here's Martin. He did a distributing role for the most part today. Volkman, he's kicked all day. To Bostock once again. Berry trying to weave his way in traffic to get there. Wasn't able to do so. Bostock again. Stopped here inside the tent. Now, Andrew Webster in our pre-game show talking to you, Corey and Blocker, and also Lara, said this is where they want to try and really rev up things today. Inside the 10, stop the opposition working it away as easily as they've done in these get-out sets. They weren't so good at it in the first half. Better effort this time around. Nichols here trying to get something going on play number 4. Better effort by the Warriors on this defensive set. SA comes from the field. Wallace showing it. Gets a legs tackle though. It'll be a quick play the ball and no pressure at all. Nicarima who kicks from inside the 40. Go down here to Corsi. Brings it back to O'Sullivan. Nichols was there also. The Warriors have it just outside their 20. Still no change to our half-time score.
And you just have a look at how many players are still yet to be behind the ball so far. That comes with the amount of defence that the Warriors have had to do. That's a third tackle now. There's still some blokes yet to get behind the play the ball here.
He's tried hard, hasn't he, Barnett, in the middle of the field. His opening exchanges. It's his 9th run for up over 80 metres.
Last tackle, Max, square. Go,
Last tackle here for the Warriors. Jared something to say as Volkman kicks down towards Tabuai Fido. Once Bostock doesn't have to make the catch. But once again, the hammer stopped here inside the Dolphins 10. So the game in a bit of an arm wrestle phase at the moment. The ball in play here for a long period.
And it's the area of the game that they weren't able to do in the first half, as Dylan Walker looks like he's going to come back onto the field. They just weren't able to stay in that arm wrestle. The Dolphins are able to kick away. And whilst it may feel a little mundane and boring, it's exactly what you got to do when you come into the big games. Get into the grind.
And Jesse Bromwich back onto the field for the Dolphins. He was outstanding in the first 20 minutes before he went off. Got a fair few offloads, was able to stand in tackles and really got the Dolphins going.
One last play. It's Nikorima's kick again. Do it over once more. Slowly but surely, the Warriors winning this extended game of Forson's back. Bring it back here to begin almost at the 40. Horsey now sees a bit of space through the middle and gets them going. So they can supply a quick play the ball to keep the momentum rolling on. Barnett tries to do that. Brings it down to be stopped there by Plath. And also Lemuelu, their midfield. It's Dylan Walker showing it. Went in behind Josh Curran, so he couldn't pass it. Taken down there by Felice Kafusi. Now Curran stepping out of dummy half. Leads all the Warriors forwards as far as metres to this point of the game. They've got one more here. Promising sets. Chance for an attacking kick. And Volkman goes sideways. Corsi taps it backwards. Volkman's there. Flips it out the back. Berry a second grab. Keeps it alive. To a peaky. Grubbers. Walker's there. Getting his toe on the ball though. Tessie New. Just with a pinky saves a try.
Well, they're able to mount a little bit of pressure down this right-hand side. It was a nice little kick across field. Volkman it was. Nice little bat back here from Kossi. Tessie New does a great job here just to catch, release and then go again, but to a pinky straight onto the foot, and Walker just beaten to the punch.
Gee, it looked like Walker was going to win the race to the ball for all money. Tessie New, you're leading 22 points to 0. You can drop off on that play, but he doesn't. Shows what it means to him. Gets there first.
On the short drop out. Another good tap back by Ed Corsi. Berry is there. Stopped by O'Sullivan.
I'd love to see him set up on the right post and have a shot inside, outside Nikorima, and also Valen Stefani. Looks to be their best option so far.
They do go left, and here is Walker. Crash ball this time. Stopped from close range. Kalani going. He's going nowhere in this situation. On top of the line, they'll dive in from dummy half. Nice work by Freddie Lussick. He grabs his first try as a Warrior. And they've got their first points of the day, 22-4 it is.
Well, it's taken 18 minutes in this second half, but it's off the back of a repeat set. Able to mount a little bit of pressure. Freddie Lussick just rocks out, looks out to Barnett, and gets the old Fox interested in Jesse Bromwich. Tabuo Fido on the other side of the ruck, and he crosses for a really important try for his team. And 22 points to 4, kick to come.
Well, the big thing is they've got a little bit of possession in the second half to start this second half. Put a bit of pressure there on the Dolphins. Freddie Lussick throws the dummy. I think Bromwich just overread it a little bit. He was going to the first receiver. Just ducks underneath and scores.
So we've had some wild finishes to games so far in 2023. 22 points to 4, still 21 minutes remaining. All the time in the world for the Warriors, and notable they score the points off the back of the first repeat set in good ball position they've had so far in the second half. Lussick grabs the try. Pompey converts. It's 16 the difference at the 1 hour mark here at Suncorp Stadium. Waz, they've got so many fans, and who knows, they might be there on grand final day given their form to this point. They've won 10 of their past 11. You can, for tomorrow, Father's Day, of course, if you're looking for something late in the piece, should have got your Father's Day gifts wrapped up by now, surely, Corey, but the NRL and NRLW grand final, boy, tickets to the big one, the GF, both the men and the women, will be a great Father's Day ticket, rather a prize, wouldn't it?
Socks and jocks might be coming my way, but maybe not a grand final ticket.
You might be good. Here is Tuapiki.
Stand out.
They're playing for the Warriors inside the 10. Lussick waiting here at dummy half. And they're charging hard from their own end.
Max, let up.
He went close to scoring. That would be a tremendous moment in his first game in the NRL. And now Curran's away. He's got Pompey on his outside. Comes to Tabuo Fido. The pass looks forward. It goes to Montoya in a race with the hammer. The Warriors have gone back to back. Here they come.
And the crowd, just have a listen to them. The Brewees here in Queensland absolutely love it. Straight off the back of points, they have a look out the left-hand side. Walker's only been back on the field a matter of minutes. Tomato Martin finds Curran, who's been one of their best. He's off to the races, draws in the fullback. Tabuai Fido does a great job to reload and get back on, but Montoya is able to cross in what is 2 tries in a matter of minutes.
Well, don't you love it when they shift the ball in their own half there? It's the first time we've really seen the Warriors with a little bit of width. They get the try on the end of it, Montoya, but put it down to Curran. He was a man that just burst straight through a couple of ordinary attempts at tackle, straight through, long-range try, back-to-back for the Warriors. 19 to go, here we come.
Well, I've said earlier in the call that I thought that's their best option, coming down that right-hand side of the Dolphins, particularly if you're able to put numbers and people in motion and players out the back, just creates a little bit of instability. And that time there, just Curran. He's been terrific. 149 run meters, a couple of tackle busts, leading the tackle count. A real wholehearted game from him so far.
They have brought this crowd to life. Pompey, 2 in from touch. 2 tries in 2 minutes for the Warriors. Pompey's kick, bending, will stay outside the right upright though. It's 12 the difference. 18 and a half on the clock. Watch it again. Curran, his pass on the outside to the man who just took the conversion attempt, Adam Pompey. Boy, it was flat, no more than that, said the referee, who was right in line with it. He had a great view of it, Jared Sutton. He gave it the all clear in running, and then Montoya did well.
They didn't quite get the rub of the green in the first half. Maybe it's a square up. And what can they produce this set? 18 and a half minutes to go.
Well, they found some energy, no question about that. It all began with that goal line dropout they forced. They score through Lussick, score through Montoya. There's 22 points to 10. Remembering, this is the team back in round 5 against the Sharks at PointsBet Stadium.
Yes.
And from a long way back to win that one, 32 points to 30. Now they go left again. Here's Pompey, all looking for an offload. Martin was there, just couldn't quite find him. Walker, though, fends away from Nikorima.
They need to stay down that corridor. They've got him on the back foot.
Here's Lussick coming back to the middle. Barnett takes pretty much a settler towards the back end of this set, off the back of 2 straight tries. There's Volkman. He'll go towards the corner, towards Bostock once more. He makes the catch, runs away from a staggered chase line. They paid a price just before half-time for a poor chase on a kick. Almost did something similar there with Bostock weaving his way back towards the middle.
Now the body language from the Dolphins is something very similar to what we saw in the first half from the Warriors. Really bunched and fatigued. Over the last 10 minutes, it's been all the Warriors, 68% of possession.
They had the better of it in this second half. The ball out the back. Well, Max Blath did well there. Somehow wedged between his calf muscles. Didn't knock it on. Nichols now brings it back to the halfway line. One more here for the Dolphins. Nikorima waiting for the kick, coming out quickly. Lussick looking to put some pressure on. It's a shallow kick, but a good bounce for the Dolphins. Lussick going back. It's got Tuapiki there, who's a real live wire. Tries to use some footwork against Kafusi. And they lock him up just outside the Warriors' 10. Montoya charging there at Nikorima, and also Valtafare. Quick play the ball. Gets them going. Early tackles in this set. Pompey trying to follow suit. Nichols did well there.
Injection. Lussick off the field. Roche come on. 23 jersey. Barnett up over the 40. Still trying to inspire his troops.
Second of the players on debut for the Warriors today, Paul Roach. 24 years of age, along with his brother Nathaniel. They become the 7th pairing of brothers to have played for the Warriors. He is involved in a tackle. There'll be a penalty for the Dolphins at their own 20.
Yeah, that can turn momentum too. Just a lifting tackle there. Dangerous. They get the penalty there on the 20-metre line. As you say, the Dolphins look out on their feet at the moment. That's just like what they need. Kick for touch and end up somewhere around about the halfway line to start their set. Didn't go for that much distance there.
Hold here, still yardage. Hold. No tackles.
Managed to stem the flow for the Dolphins over the past couple of possessions.
Hold there, Dylan. Go on.
Katoa from dummy half. Finds Kafusi. Good tackle. And Dylan Walker right around the legs. Jesse Bromwich. Trademark little hop and then an offload for Platt. It puts the speed on. It was a good tackle made there by Tuapiki. It had to be as well. Chance on his left-hand side. O'Sullivan for Nicarima. Lemuelu is there. Taken to ground by Rocco Berry. Quick play the ball again. The speed of the Dolphins played the ball today has been impressive. Really made an effort. Bounce back to their feet. Keep the pressure going. Back midfield here. One more play. 10 metres out. It's Platt for O'Sullivan. I'll put it through the hands. Nicarima showing it. Puts the brakes on. Comes back to the middle. Max Platt on the end of it. He dives in for his first try in the NRL. Nicarima searching for somebody. Found a man in just game number 2 of his NRL career. The pass must have been flat. It didn't look so
flat
good.
at best. Flat at best here from Nicarima. He's been terrific. Goes through the defenders. At best, that's flat. Back to Max Platt coming through the middle. Just doing his job. I like his father, John Platt, for the Broncos in the 90s. Just able to cross under the sticks. And off the back of the penalty that we saw from Roach only moments ago, it was exactly what the Dolphins needed to regroup, regather.
Well, that's a good effort there from Max Platt. He was the man that got the ball off Jesse Bromwich, who was able to run a long way right down the middle of the ruck against the Warriors there with the offload. Platt run 20 metres upfield from the offload. And in that ensuing set, gets the ball back on the inside. Nicarima been outstanding this afternoon. Got spiders on him. They can't tackle him. Good footwork, the offload, flat at best. And Platt scores.
There's been some dubious decisions let go this afternoon, Warren.
Feels like round 27. The big crowd. As we said, carnival atmosphere. It's almost like Magic Round has come back to Brisbane once again. And Masako here from right in front. Over 28 points to 10. It's a tough now for the Warriors, who've done well those back-to-back tries to get themselves into the contest. Masako took it over the black dots, adds to his personal tally in 2023. He looks like his father, he moves like his father.
Absolutely.
It's uncanny the way he gets across the field. You'd swear it was John Platt in action, the 4-time premiership winner as a Bronco.
One of the real characters, John Platt. When I first arrived at the Broncos, he was in and around the club playing at the time. And he's a young fella enjoying himself.
Yes, the stories, they are legendary, shall we say. The Warriors, they'll go short here. Chance for a catch by Montoya at speed. Eyes only for the ball. The Warriors still time. That will be quite a task though. 12 and a half remaining. Coming by 3 converted tries. That one here, you never know. With a chance to a pick. Doing some weaving, got away from Tessie New. Bostock came in. And now Volkman goes to Walker. Short ball there for Bunty Afoa. There's 5 out from the Dolphins line. They're deep on this right-hand side. That's where Walker goes. Crash ball there for Sirenen. They'll get 6 more tackles. Warriors in front of the line on that play. Called offside. Barnett standing here, taken to ground by Flack and also Bromwich. Back to Volkman they go. Sirena, another 6 again set here. 2 in the space of 3 plays. It's Roach out of dummy half. Walker bypasses Martin unintentionally. Pompey set upon there by the Faro. Trying to get away from him. In the end, Katoa trying to stop him with the help of Nicarima and managed to do so. So still plenty of tackles here for the Warriors. Martin, Walker. Now there's some numbers. Martin comes away, stepping in traffic, and Corsi almost found his way to the line. Lost a boot in the process. Rocco Berry. Good hands by Volkman. A great ball from dummy half by Berry. Did well to not knock it on. Roach, no looker. Barnett grabbed by the collar there by Jesse Bromwich. This is the last play. They do go left, Corey. It's Volkman to Murray. Martin takes them on himself, gets the yards free. Montoya couldn't catch it and find a way in.
It was Katoa who's got across for the Dolphins. Desperational stuff. I thought Tamate Martin had done everything right. They had the numbers, the speed of Tamate on the outside of Stafare. And the Dolphins have got across there in front of the New Zealand Warriors fans over in that southern corner.
What about the tackle from Tafare? He caught Tamari going across field, just lifted him and forced him into touch there. What a tackle.
He's been under pressure a number of times during the game. Tafare did well there on that occasion to play his part in stopping try for the Warriors. Grab one there, back within 12 potentially. 10 minutes on the clock. It is tough now. Bromwich is here, just inside the Dolphins 40, searching for their 9th win of the season. Their first season in the NRL. Ball from Platt. Nichols, who plays it on his own side of halfway. Sullivan off the outside of the boot. Will bounce in the field of play, though, and now it's awkward. Berry and Corsi, they found a way to be offside from one into the other, and it's a Dolphins penalty.
Well, it was an ordinary kick from O'Sullivan, but allowed to bounce. Put the Warriors under enormous amounts of pressure, and off the back of that, they get it horribly wrong. O'Sullivan barking orders. What does he want from his team? I'd love to finish this game with a flurry in front of their home fans. Jared Wallace has got card in hand. Wouldn't he like to get back on at this stage?
Desperate. Especially as especially as they're in attack. Here he is. Once again, the world's biggest halfback. He's played a great role today. Off the bench from Wayne Bennett. Moving backwards and coming forward in reminding the coach as well.
He might have stalled if they'd been at the other end of the field.
Now O'Sullivan, Katoa, no looker. Lemuelu in behind Volkman. The pass, though, has been called forward. Well, there was one.
Yeah. Hasn't been many this game, but that was one. It was the right call. The no look out the back. He's had a terrific season also. In his first season in the NRL, be up for nomination for Rookie of the Season, Katoa.
There is the live ladder, the top 4 in fact. The Warriors pending loss here with just under 8 minutes remaining. Staying in 4th position. The Melbourne Storm with their win on Thursday night right here against the Broncos. Moving into 3rd place, and then we'll wait and see what happens between the Panthers and the Cowboys. But as things stand, in week 1 of the finals, it'll be the Broncos, the minor premiers, up against the Warriors, and the Panthers at home taking on the Melbourne Storm. Obviously, that can change if the Panthers beat the Cowboys.
It'll be the Broncos up against the Melbourne Storm back here at Suncorp. Boy.
Sirenen stops inside the 40 as Walker comes across to Tamare Martin, sliding. Pompey's away again. He's got Tuapiki back on the inside, still running to Tabuai Fido. Pompey loses the ball at the death. Nicarima comes up with it. Let's play on here for the Dolphins. Sarko has it. Pompey just kept going and kept going. Now Sarko has a cramp in the calf, and I think Curran has gone out in sympathy with him.
Yeah, I thought it might have been hamstring when Curran first went down, as we see the break here through Pompey. He's really injected himself in this second half. Stands up Tabuai Fido and then pushes the pass. And players starting to go down with cramp.
Bailey, no more. Hold now. Go one.
And he's down still with problems in the background there, Jermaine Sarko. Curran is lucky he's in the 20k walking race. I don't know if he could break into a gallop.
Jane Seville.
It's good thing that Corey Parker has the local pickle juice franchise. Well, now he's into a bit of a gallop. He's worked out that cramp for the moment, but unconvincingly so. Tabuai Fido, Tessie New, good ball for Bostock. Berry is there to stop his progress, though. And the winger will play it just outside the 30. 2 plays remaining in this set. From New, it goes to Platt. O'Sullivan, Wallace. What's he got up his sleeve this time around? It's a simple pass for Bromwich. Kept it going through Katoa. Nicarima's out there.
Sarko's still back on the 30, stretching his legs.
Well, Nicarima was looking for somebody on his right-hand side, but there was no one. Then he's looking at the back saying, where are you all? Well, Sarko was 40 metres downfield, still being worked on as far as that calf muscle is concerned. And both teams with their issues. He just can't quite work it out at the moment there, Jermaine Sarko. Run for so many metres scoring tries this year. 24 of them. He's cramping up off the back of it. Fascinating hearing from both coaches. Beyond this, of course. Build up to the clash between the Panthers and the Cowboys. We'll try and bring you some reaction from both Wayne Bennett and Andrew Webster. Warriors coach resting Wade Egan and Fanua Blake as Dylan Walker comes from the field. Sean Johnson also. Michael Cookstart Boyd. That is a forward pass. That was a little Aaron Rodgers meets Tom Brady right there.
There's a lot of attention coming into this game on that man there, Tomato Martin, who will partner Sean Johnson in the semi-finals. He just returned to New South Wales Cup last week. He's put in a full performance here. It's been a little up and down. At different stages look very good. It'll be much better for the run.
You would imagine he is the man. Yeah. He'll wear the 6 jersey next week, no matter who they're playing. We'll find out, as we said, the hours beyond this. Martin with Luke Metcalf suffering his second serious hamstring strain of the season, 1 to each leg. As it turns out as well, that was really bad luck. Now Tabuai Fido kicking for himself. Good work going back. Montoya at speed, diving on the ball and not knocking it on. That is hard to do. The Warriors have it to work it away from inside their 20. See if this theory from Andrew Webster proves to be the right one. I think it was a bit of a no-brainer given the season they've had, the work they've had to do in the second half of the season. They were 6 wins and 6 losses, and they get a penalty here, the Warriors. The very midpoint of the season, they were 6 wins and 6 losses. On the edge of being a finals team, but they've won 10 of their next 11. It's been incredible.
The Dolphins are going to challenge this. Look like 3 in the tackle to me anyway. Bromwich, who stole the football here.
Jared Wallace is still on the legs when Kenny Bromwich strips the ball. The challenge is unsuccessful.
The Warriors' possession off the back of the penalty. Martin to kick for touch. Sending them into attack once again. 3 minutes left here in game 1 of 3. Panthers and Cowboys. That's up next. Cowboys, well, their scenario a simple one. They have to win.
Huge game.
Martin Cleary for the Panthers electing to play most of his stars.
Go to.
A bit of a rotation policy, resting players over the past couple of weeks. Off the back of the loss to the Eels. And it's pretty much a full squad that he's going with today, including Isaac Tungor returning from injury for the first time in 6 weeks. Make sure you stick around for that. And the Dragons and the Knights beyond that as well. The nightcap right here on Super Saturday. As Roach from dummy half. Goes with the hands there of Allen. Another pass. Pick off the bootlaces by Adam Pompey. A couple of passes on that left-hand side haven't been so crisp for the Warriors. But they come to it here. Volkman to kick. Across the field. Too deep to be a chance there for Corsi and Berry to make a contest of it. So it's an easy catch for Jack Bostock. The Dolphins inside the final 2 begin just outside their own 10. Season that began quite incredibly. They opened some eyes, didn't they?
It's been a great story.
Round 1.
Yeah, it's been a great story for Wayne Bennett and the Dolphins coming into the competition. They've really made people in the rugby league world stand up. That's beautiful from Cody Nicarima.
So backwards there to Jermaine Asako. Felice Kafusi has been left on the ground behind the play. Play on as comes through Plath, then Tabuai Fido. Wallace in the back line again. Corsi comes in, can't wrap up Tessie. New. Tessie's away. He's got Kenny Bromwich there. He sets sail and Kenny Bromwich runs away. That's how it finishes in 2023 for the Dolphins. An exclamation mark at the back end of their first season. And while they won't be playing in finals in their inaugural year, what a campaign they have had.
Yeah, it's a great finish to the game for the Dolphins. They come out to the left-hand side. Tessie New's been strong out on the left edge, able to break a tackle and then the acceleration back through the defenders to find Kenny, who was on a treadmill. Would have felt like an eternity to go there. Moved into the lock forward position. Such a wonderful ball play. Does a lot of the little things well in every game. Goes through as a decoy runner. Makes himself available. Has a look on the big screen.
He's done some good things in this game, hasn't he? Tessie New.
Yeah.
Great footwork. And as you said, from a crouch down start, he just took off. Well done there by Kenny Bromwich to support the player back on the inside. And away he went. And that they enjoy it.
Brother Jesse having a real good laugh.
Boy, have you ever seen somebody on the bench enjoy a try as much as that in recent times? Jesse Bromwich lapping it up as Kenny ran away. I don't think that Jesse could believe he had the speed to outpace the chase from the Warriors. Jermaine Asako provide his final tally for the season. A kick here to make it 2:44. The 2023 in a great personal season for him at one stage. He was playing in the Queensland Cup for the Tweed Seagulls. Wayne Bennett knew he was too good for that calibre. And he's been great for the Dolphins here in 2023. A big win for them. Their 9th of the season, their final tally as far as wins losses in their inaugural year. 9 wins, 15 losses.